What is up, guys? Scar here, coming at you with another Magic the Gathering deck video. Today we're going to be diving into a deck called Bant Enchantments. You may or may not have seen this build. Pretty much is exactly what the green-white enchant deck is, but we kind of splash blue in for a couple utility cards to kind of help out our enchantments overall, as well as adding a creature kind of has a unique ability as well that kind of has an interest in play with other cards that when we play enchantments we kind of gain benefits from it. Guys, if you like these videos and want to help support the channel, hit that like button. If you want to know when these videos go live, it always helps to subscribe. But let's dive right into the deck tech. Scar TV. All right, so pretty much you look at the deck list and you're like, okay, it's pretty much a straightforward deck list that is pretty similar to other enchantment decks that are out there. It's overall the whole point of our deck is to play enchantments on our creatures and attack with those particular creatures at our opponent. So we got 4 of these guys here. We can sacrifice them and prevent one of our enchantments from being killed off by a spell and or being blocked by a bigger version of another creature of a different color, which is always beneficial. And if we attack with this and we buff it up, we will also get life back, which is also very, very good. We also got Karametra's Blessing, which pretty much helps our enchantment creatures. It gives it enchanted creature hexproof and indestructible, and also +2/+2, which is an added benefit. It's not just directly for creatures that are enchanted creatures. It's if they're also enchanted, which is definitely a benefit, which I don't think many people realize, that you can also target your enchanted creature, not just the enchantment creatures. Sentinel's Eyes, it's a very good strong 1-cost 1/1 bonus with vigilance. The vigilance is really, really big because pretty much you can attack in and then keep your guy back, and as well as escaping for 1 to exile 2 other cards from your graveyard to bring it back, which is very, very strong. All that is glitters. This here is kind of like the finisher. Pretty much you get +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment, since we play pretty much all enchantments other than maybe a couple creatures that aren't enchanted creatures. This can get your creature pretty big. You stack like 2 of these and your creature's like massive. This is kind of where the blue splash comes in. We add in this Starlit Mantle. You can flash it, enchanted creature you control gets hexproof until end turn, as well as +1/+1, which you can kind of leave mana open. Your opponent tries to kill off your creature. If you have it open as like a blocker, you play this on it, you get a bonus +1/+1, and it's hexproof, so then that spell gets nullified. Other than that, we got some Paradise Druid, which is another good thing. With this and Sentinel's Eyes, you can get a hexproof, beefy creature for cheap, which creates pretty interesting scenario. Seasons of the Growth, because we're playing enchantments. So whenever we play any of our creatures, we scry, and then whenever we cast any of our enchantments that target our creatures and our spells, we then draw a card, which is awesome. Setessan Training, another good one. When it enters the battlefield, you get +1/+0, as well as draw a card and trample. Staggered Insight, another interesting card here. Pretty much it gives our creature lifelink if it doesn't have it already, and +1/+1, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Combine this with something that has trample or fly-in, and then pretty much you are guaranteed to then get some point of damage across the board. Setessan Champion, this is the bread and butter kind of. Once you get one of these out and you start casting a lot of these cheaper enchantments, craziness happens. You start drawing a whole bunch of cards, start adding a whole bunch of +1/+1 counters, pretty much drawing through a lot of your deck to pretty much make this the beefy guy. I would say if you do have one of these out, I would probably more than likely target this, just because of his +1/+1 counters, and just the draw effect is just crazy. This is another one of those cards that we splash in a little bit of blue for. It has the constellation ability, just like the Setessan Champion, but this one is whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield in your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That creature gains flying. So pretty much then you can, let's just say you target your Setessan Champion with an enchantment spell. Not only is it going to get the +1/+1 from itself and draw on a card, you then will give it an additional +1/+1 counter, and then also then it gains flying until end of turn. So if your creature has if you just want to get some points of damage in, maybe get some life back, that is pretty crazy. I mean, it's an interesting play. Like I said, there's sometimes issues with getting blue mana, but if we get this out plus Setessan Champion, it's a lot of times if we're in a good spot, it's usually GG's. We got 5 plains, 4 islands, 6 forests, a Hallowed Fountain, Blossom Sands for some life gain, Temple Garden for just to bring into play kind of thing. I mean, you could always replace Blossom Sands with some Temple Gardens and Temple of Plenty to kind of get a little bit more of the mana you're looking for. The 1 life is actually pretty good. Temple, the Scry's very good too, and then a breeding pool. You can tweak the mana pool around. This is a little bit more of a budget friendly. Like, you don't need to have the rare tap lands or come into play, you know, both color lands. But I mean, if you do have them, you could always play more of them. Like you probably want to like get rid of maybe some of these, maybe play a little bit more of you know, I would say Temple Gardens. Maybe, you know, you take 2 of these away, add 3 Temple Gardens, and maybe an extra 2 Temple of Plenties, or you go 4 of these, 2 of these. You can also maybe get rid of a Plains card, add in an extra Hallowed Fountain, or even a Breedem, maybe get rid of a forest, add a Breedem Pool. You can kind of tweak the mana a little bit, kind of get what you like. But this one here, the mana usually pretty much works, like I said, just because we only play 1, 2, 3. So a total of 6 sources of blue mana. It gets sometimes a little tricky when we need to get the blue mana in the field. But overall, if we don't draw blue mana, we are still pretty good, other than maybe having a few spells in our deck that are kind of blue mana dependent. We don't need to have that much blue mana sources, but it does help if we have more than one. But overall, the deck, like I said, is pretty good. I wouldn't say, yet again, it's not one of those top tier decks, but it is a good deck to get you started in if you like playing like more of an enchantment style deck. It does create some interesting, you know, matchups against other decks. Sometimes they even get frustrated when they see you have like this ginormous single creature that's just tearing their face apart and they can't do anything about it. Like, trust me, when you gain a whole crap ton of life, even if it doesn't have trample like damage, and you gain like, you know, 13 life back, your opponent's like, well, you know, oops. I think I played a game before I even started recording this video where I pretty much got a 35 of trample, and by the time I killed him, he was at negative 18 life, and I think I was already over 70 life. So like I said, when everything kind of comes together, this deck does perform very well. But with that being said, let's move on to some games. Now, with that being said, it is kind of interesting on when it comes against some of the matchups we do play in the regular play mode. I haven't played against really red decks, so I don't really know how this performs. It is a little bit slower, so I would say maybe it's not the best performer, but if you can maybe get the right life gain creature plus an enchantment, maybe you can kind of keep yourself into the game. But it is a little rough at the beginning. So hopefully we're not playing a red deck. Who knows? Also, guys, let me know if this camera is better in the comments down below. I've kind of made adjustments. This hand is not very good because we have 3 white cards, a green, and 2 green and a blue. So we're gonna mulligan it, see what we get. This one's better. We can play pretty much everything. I think I'm gonna throw a land on the bottom because this is all playable. I mean, I'm gonna throw down. Yeah, we'll throw this one down. I actually don't remember if I'm playing first. Okay, I'm playing first. So we're gonna scry. Yeah, we'll keep that just because then we pretty much have all those sources we need. So next turn we'll probably play the Temple Garden into play taps, and or we can play the Temple Garden. I will play this. All right, so I don't think he has anything because he would have played anything. I think then we'll play this and play tapped. So then we can kind of then we get all our mana out. Next turn, depending on what we got, we can always pump this up. Or players have no maximum hand size opponent. Each player draws X. Each player puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand on the top of their library into their graveyard. Interesting. So it looks like they're playing some sort of deck that pretty much causes us and them to all draw our cards. So I think what we'll do here is, since they're tapped out, we'll actually pay 2 life. We'll cast Season of Growth, which for some reason got very delayed. We'll cast this on this. We'll draw a card. Gain 2 life back from the damage we did to ourselves. And we'll attack. And it has Vigilance, so we have a blocker just in case somehow they have a blue mana haster, which doesn't, I don't think, exist. Next turn, we can play the Bloom and Sands, play the Constellation Champ. This list, Setessan Champion. I don't know why I say Constellation Champion. Okay, wish him well. Interesting. Scry 2, they're digging. I feel like there may be a wall or something here. I may just attack next turn anyway. Because I have a weird feeling it's like a weird mill deck. I think here he's gonna, where is this? He can tap 2 mana and we each draw a card, which is interesting. I'm gonna play the untapped land. We're gonna play this. We're gonna scry. He's not gonna counter. Interesting. He, like I said, he's probably gonna play into that. We're gonna keep that. We'll go to combat. We're gonna only do 2 damage Gain 2 life. We're gonna end turn. I kind of want him to play himself out. Okay, so he didn't tap this to even draw each of us to draw a card, which is interesting. All right, Nyx Lotus, that's perfectly fine. He's gonna take a lick of damage this next turn, so there is that. So we'll do this. We'll play this. We're gonna draw a card, and we're gonna get a +1/+1 counter, draw a card. So hopefully we can get some more beefiness. Okay, that's even better. We can also then play a new land, play this. Now it has even more health. He's got to go off on whatever he's doing because this is not going to end well for him if he does not. I mean, it'd be kind of mean for me to play another. Now, you know what? We'll just do it. Why not? All right, so we got another champion. So if there's any way that he can like pacify this and or do anything to it, we'll leave mana open so he can't target it directly, and we're just gonna attack in. So overall, the deck is working, and that shows us how crazy and broken, like, it's not broken, but it shows how, like, good it gets when you have all these cheap enchantments, and pretty much you're just drawing cards with the Setessan Champion. Here he has to play something to stop us. He has 2 blue from Devotion for his Nyx Lotus. I mean, I don't care if he makes this deck, sure. I don't know how that's gonna keep him from not dying. So he has 3. Return all non-land permanents that are on his hands. You return more non-land permanents. Interesting. That's fine. Because we'll just kind of replay everything. I mean, it kind of slows us down from winning. I'll play another one. But, you know, let's just play what we had. So we'll play this back out. I don't need that. I think I could still play a land. I don't have a white source, though. I just realized. We'll just play that. Discard 4. I'll get rid of this. I don't really need the land. I'll get rid of 2 of these. I can always bring him back, which is not a big deal. So you pretty much reset the board. This kind of looks like a weird Turbo Fog deck draw kind of deck. He has 0 Devotion for blue. So he has 1. The thing is, he knows what I'm going to be able to, what I'm going to have next turn. So it's like kind of like on his end, it's like, what do I have? Because I can easily get this to 7. So he really needs to draw something that's going to stop him from pretty much dying next turn. He has 2 blue mana open, so he could play something, but I think it's whenever I cast, or whenever enchantment enters. Okay, it's not a cast thing, so then it's not that big of a deal. So he has something open, so he either has a... It's fine. I'm gonna play this. So we get the scry, and then we get the draw and get a counter. He's still debating. We'll keep that. Play another one. Which is a great stack, like to scry and then look at your top card is just a great feature. We'll play this. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So I can't play that. It's at 3. I've more than enough here to pretty much... No, I'm not going to do it that way. That's the dumb. Might as well just go into combat. Attack. And attack. And first game is ours. Like you saw, he was trying to slow us down, but we got in enough big damage early that we kind of, you know, him with us pushing everything back to our hand did not really bother us in the way of, you know, beating us. Ooh, Chance for Glory. Nice, my first one. I'm a little behind in collecting cards in Magic the Gathering Arena. I really didn't get into it until like the beginning of like February. And then, you know, as you can tell by my channel, I haven't really started creating content until like March-ish on Magic the Gathering. But like I said, guys, let me know like down in the comments below if where the camera is in a good spot. I can adjust it still. I just know someone was saying that I did block up my mana sources down below. So hopefully this is a much better position. Interesting. We're waiting 30 seconds. That seems like a long time. Usually it's pretty quick. You figure with more people home currently that there'd be more people playing, but maybe on a Monday night, you know, people still are like, I have work tomorrow. This hand is interesting. I am going to keep because I think we have some, if we can get to turn 3, this is going to become interesting because we can target itself. And who knows, and we're going first, so even better. And we have all the colors we need. So, enter play tapped. Turn 2, we can play Season of the Growth. Okay, so we're playing some sort of Jund. Some sort of Gruul so far. It could be Naya. We don't know if there's white in the deck. It does make me a little nervous because... Interesting. When gateway enters the battlefield, sacrifice unless you pay 1. Add 1 mana of any color. Interesting. So is it like a 4-color deck? I will keep that. Sometimes I get impatient and I start clicking on the board. It's fine. I'll let them... I will let them play their things. I will take the draw effect. And I will pump that up. I will as well play this and get another draw card. All right, and life gain, I'll take it. Next turn we can play a Setessan Champion and be even good. We actually reloaded our hand in the way that we could play around stuff, worst case scenario. All right, it's an 8/8. I'm not afraid of it, to be quite honest, because I know I can do things that will make us pretty much okay. It will give itself 11-10. We'll play a Fountain into play untapped. Why not draw a second card? Because we'll still do trample damage. We'll all attack. And that's a good game. I guess they decided not to block. I don't really know, because all he said was oops, and that was it. So that went very well. That was a quick game 2. I seem like we're really moving tonight with these games. I'm not getting confident. Like, I'm sure we'll play against somebody who will be good to will be a good matchup against this deck. The game before was interesting. Playing some unique decks, which is always good. It's always good to see people playing things outside the meta. But I'm sure we're due for a red deck or something like that. This guy's playing Karn. There's a good chance that he's definitely playing red deck. Oh yeah, this definitely feels like a red deck map. He's got an owl. Oh, definitely. So this hand's interesting. I could keep it. We do have stuff, but we don't have any creatures to actually play, which is a disadvantage. And in my luck from when I play tested, when I don't draw creatures initially in the open hand, I never seem to get them afterwards. Even being on the draw, with this being as good as it is, like us having all our mana sources, for the sake of the video, I am just gonna keep the 7. I do have a scry land. I can mess around and hopefully get a land get a creature into our hand. That makes me feel much better with the fact of the fact that we drew another land, but we didn't draw a creature. So this is gonna end. This is gonna interestingly. He's playing mono green, I think, of some sorts, big creatures, like a mono green stompy kind of like style deck, just because he has this land that he can tap and add 6 mana to make cast creatures. Maybe he's playing, oh, there we go. See, that is actually really good, because this has hexproof. So if he's playing green creatures that fight other creatures that it can target, we pretty much, you know, he can't technically target this particular creature. Next turn we'll play our island. I think then we will hopefully draw something here. That's like the plan. Hopefully draw something. Hopefully draw like one of those 1 cost, 1 white mana cards. That is not it, but that is also pretty good. I may actually play that instead. I'm gonna swing it for 2. I don't know what he could have, to be quite honest. I have a backup creature, so if he kills this one or kills this one, I am not upset. Okay, he got a bug. That's fine. Even better. I mean, I don't mind playing this. I kind of want to play that though. I will pay 2 life. I will play a Season of the Growth. We'll give this +1/+1. And we'll give it another +1/+1. We'll target this. It also has flying and we'll gain life out of it, so it's actually not that bad. We'll swing in. Blockers, damage. 5 to the face. Draw a card, which is not bad. We have 2 things to block it from dying because it's enchanted. We'll also draw a card from it. He could be in a pickle, and he gives up because he's like, crap, I can't handle that, I guess. All right, so 3 games to nothing. Going smooth here. Like I said, we kept the hand. We got lucky that time. Like I said, I've previously done that and did not get lucky. So we'll move on to game number 4. And let's see if we can go 0-0 everything here. That's the hope. That's the dream. But yeah, overall, the deck is fun. You kind of go all in on a creature. So if they do try to take your creature down, it kind of does, you have to kind of reset, but it's not the worst, especially if you got some good draws. This hand is actually pretty good. We're going first. If we're playing red, this is actually very good. We can play the Druid. We have some blessings to give it like indestructible once it becomes enchanted, and then we can also play this and pretty much prevent it from tapping ever unless we want to tap it for mana, which I don't think we're going to need to unless we need to play something blue. So we'll keep the 7. I'm going to play the Blossoms of the Sands because why not? We don't have a turn 1 play, really, because this can't target anything. All right, so we're playing blue-black of some sort. We also drew our blue mana, which is good. I'm not going to expose that just yet. We'll play this. They're just going to be like, oh, they're just playing some blue-white deck. Maybe enchants. I don't know. All right, so we got another blue. I'll move it over to the land so you can get a better idea of how it goes. I don't know if you can actually see. Right now he's not looking at the right card. Okay. I would have gotten rid of the Sentinel just on the basis of I don't have anything in my graveyard. It's also weirdly looking at my hand a little bit longer than I like, to be quite honest. And a fun fact, I drew another one. I'm going to attack in and not tap. And turn. The thing is that this is actually really strong because this creature will now be indestructible. So if he decides to Time Warp us, that is still fine. Though the one thing that we're running into is that in this game particularly, I am not drawing any cards that are like going to help me. Like I didn't draw a Season of the Growth or anything like that. I don't know if that's going to be bad or not. We got a Temple of Plenty. We'll play this. We'll scry. I don't need the land. We will swing in. I'm just gonna ping him a couple times. Time Warp I don't think is until turn 5, so we're not 100% like gonna die just yet. We'll play this. It does nothing. Of course, I scried down the one land. The thing is, he has no idea I have another one because I played the one that he knew of. Alright, that's fine. No, can I just draw something that's gonna allow me to get through with damage? And no. So this is where we're probably gonna lose, just on the basis of... Actually, you know what? To be quite honest, I'm not gonna attack. To be quite honest, I would attack in. You can't... Oh, it's fine. Create your little army. Does it get whenever this creature attacks? What are you making a spark double of another Ashiok? Interesting. They really want to make a lot of tokens. I mean, that's perfectly fine with me. If I can get like one card just to get through with damage, then I'm in good. That's all that matters. I'll let him attack me for his 2 damage if he does it. Okay, he doesn't want to. We'll play this. I'm not going to attack again, just because there's no point. I mean, he can target this with a -3 and return it back to my hand. It's not like the biggest of deals. Or he can make his little 2/3 army. Surveil. Is that the end of my turn? Where am I at? What state are we on? We're at the end of my turn? Alright. It's still perfectly fine. I just need to draw like actual enchants that help me get through my deck. That's the one thing here. I mean, even if I don't win here, you know, I won 3-0, so it's not that bad. I would take, regardless, I'll take 6. I actually don't mind him going through my deck here, because you'll actually get me through some cards I don't need. All right, so there's one bad card that I guess he got through. He's got something? Interesting. I don't even know what I have in my exiled. The druid, the armor, and the Euthropia. Interesting. So he's probably gonna play the druid, the Setessan guy, because I would. I don't know why you wouldn't play the champion. Yeah. Interesting. I wouldn't. Now it makes it interesting why he didn't -7 at the beginning. That's what's like weirdly interesting. I still think if I lose here, it's just because I drew dead. We were gonna draw into some good stuff. I honestly don't care if he takes either or. It's still fine. Now the hope is here to draw a Season of the Growth, because the Season of the Growth can pretty much... That's actually not that bad. Except when you draw like that, I guess it's not that good. That is the one downfall here. He's gonna probably... I don't know what I have my exiled. A thing. Whenever you surveil. Alright, I have a forest. I think we did get against an opponent who kind of plays a deck that's kind of anti-us in a way, just because he has stuff that plays enchantments and kind of gets our enchantments. He's looking at this. I don't know. Maybe he has something else. I think if he doesn't have anything to counter this, well, that works. I mean, he could have done it differently too. I mean, we are getting through our deck at the end of the day, which isn't great, which is good and not good at the same time. It's trample. Pass the blockers. What is that? 3. None of it has lifelink, which isn't terrible. 3, 5, 7, 9, 14, 16. So I have to block 1 because I'll die either way. I can't block this. I think I'll block here. And the hope and pray that I draw something. I mean, he did bounce this back, so he can't activate that. And we'll kind of just see what happens. He has mana open. I'll play this. Does he have a counter? Probably has a counter. I'm just going to concede. It was a good game overall. We didn't draw into any of our enchantments that time, so it wasn't as smooth as the other 3 games. It's one of those things that happens every now and then. You know, it's just the RNGs of what we dropped. He was well matched up against the type of deck that we had. But overall, the deck is pretty solid. I mean, we didn't get to see how it gets wrecked against red deck. But on that note, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. If you want to, ask me any questions or leave a comment down below, do that. But until next video, see you later.